Today I will be talking about the 3 most important things to know about Confucianism. So first, what is Confucianism? Well, the problem according to Confucius is social chaos, and the solution to this problem is social harmony. At a glance, Confucianism is a tradition founded by teacher Confucius, in which individuals seek to cultivate social harmony by reverting to the humaneness and ritual propriety of the sage kings of ancient China. Now, the first most important thing I want to discuss is Ren, or humaneness. Confucius's central teaching was Ren and is often translated as benevolence, but it is also rendered as humaneness, goodness, kindness, humanity, altruism, and fellow feeling. It is typically used to point to the particular virtue of humaneness and the allied virtue of non-harm. Do not impose upon others what you yourself do not want. Ren can also refer to the 5 virtues of humaneness, justice, ritual propriety, wisdom, and integrity, and the 5 attitudes of deference, tolerance, making good on one's word, diligence, and generosity. Ren itself is an objective reality, observable in one's actions, and is not a feeling, but rather what we do. In the world according to Confucius, virtue is the foundation of civilization, and the foundational virtue is Ren. It is Ren in action that makes people truly human and society harmonious. But why is this concept important? This concept is important to understand when learning and looking at Confucianism because it is a foundational, integral part of the belief system. Confucius himself heavily emphasized Ren and the nature of humans toward being kind and good nature as a way to explain how we may achieve the social harmony we continue to work towards today in society. Like how Buddhism emphasized the Four Noble Truths as an essential aspect into understanding the religion, Ren plays a vital part into the embodiment of what makes Confucianism. Ren itself is also present in our everyday characters. It governs the actions of its followers and is even a virtue that Americans today, though we don't recognize it as Ren, strive to practice daily. The next most important thing I want to talk about is filial piety and ancestral veneration. Filial piety and ancestral veneration, which both go hand in hand, are emphasized heavily in Confucianism. Filial piety is also a foundational virtue of Confucianism, which essentially means to respect one's parents, elders, and ancestors. Not only is filial piety a strong component of Confucianism, it is practiced by Chinese in everyday life as well. Ancestral veneration is a ritual of ancestor worship. It takes place in the home, in cemeteries, and at temples. Like burial, ancestor veneration is understood in the Confucian world to be an expression of filial piety, as the worship for one's ancestors shows deep respect for them. Many Confucian families maintain a domestic shrine dedicated to their ancestors, which may occupy a section of a house, and include candles, incense burners, and platters for food offerings. Ancestor veneration is primarily an expression of gratitude and respect to those who brought you into this world. So why are these 2 concepts important? Both filial piety and ancestral veneration are important to Confucianism because they both represent also integral aspects of this belief system. A major part of achieving humaneness in Ren is to practice filial piety and to always show respect to your parents and elders. Additionally, of all the aspects that embody Confucianism, ancestral veneration is one of the practices that is the most heavily emphasized by Confucius, and I believe a central part in comprehending what makes it up. It is also important as it not only explains the core of Confucianism, it is also a central part of other religions like Judaism. It is also seen in American households today, whether that be not talking back to one's parents or showing kindness and respect for grandparents. Both of these practices are rooted in Confucian ideals of filial piety. The third and last most important thing I would like to talk about is ritual propriety, or li. Li is often translated as ritual, and before Confucius, this term referred narrowly to religious activities such as ancestral rites. With Confucius, it acquired broader associations referring to everyday manners, courtesies, customs, ceremonies, etiquette, civility, and propriety. Li came to govern everyday human-to-human interactions such as how to eat, how to give gifts, how to dress, and how to carry one's body. In short, ritual propriety came to refer to doing the right thing in the right way under a given set of circumstances. But why is li, or ritual propriety, so important to know? It's an important aspect of Confucianism because, like the other 2 concepts, it was strongly regarded by Confucius, who saw ritual propriety as a social glue holding society together and as a social lubricant allowing human interactions to operate more smoothly. Though Westerners and Americans dislike the concept of Li because of its forcefulness it might seemingly impose, it plays a reoccurring role in their everyday lives, though they not might view it in a Confucian way. Simple manners like holding the door open for someone or saying please and thank you to your waiter at a restaurant come from the principle of Li and from Confucianism, and so therefore I believe is worth and important to know. Thank you for listening to my presentation.